Okay, so today I decided I'm gonna do the battery tray. I've kind of run out of I have a list here, but I'm running out of places that I can bolt things onto, so I still have to put the electric somewhere. So as you can see, I've made this out of card to suit the battery. It's just a mock-up, so I can transfer onto something metal. It's easier to work with paper than metal, so I made it out of paper first, and then I can weld it up once I know the shape of it and the size and stuff like that. So I decided also on the battery, I'm not going with lithium ion. I was hemming and hawing whether I should be, because lithium ion will be easier to hide. But the reason I'm not going to go with the lithium ion is that this bike won't be driven every day, which means I'm going to really have to mind the battery, and I really don't like doing that. Because with lithium ion, if it goes dead, it's dead. There's no reviving it. So I've settled on the original stock battery. So yeah, so look, let's get transferring onto the metal. I'll chop it out and I'll start welding it up. Okay, now I'm going to bend it. I just have some double-sided sticky tape for a minute just to give me a hand. I'm going to put 2 plates at the front, 1 at the back. I'm going to squeeze them and then try and bend it. I don't have obviously a tool for it, but I'm just going to use something like this. Obviously double-sided sticky tape. I'll take my plate and put it exactly on the line where I need it to. That's just so it doesn't slide out of the way for me. So that's 1. Do the same on the back. Ideally my vice would be able to do this, or I'd have a tool for it, but I don't. Okay. So as you see now, I can put it in my vice, and I'll have an edge to bend this over, and I'll just put one on the back as well. And that's pretty much there too. It's just to hold that metal either side when I'm bending it. Now I could have just cut it and welded it up. It's one less weld. Okay. So here comes nothing. Okay, that's looking really good. Like I said, one less job for me for later. One less weld I have to be doing. Okay. So let's have a look at this. That's nice. Pretty good. Take my plates off. So there's my battery. It's going to sit in like this. And then I'm going to have another little bend up here. So, right, let me have a look at this. Now, it's a little bit better. Okay, like I said, that's bend number 1. I'm just gonna put her up to the bike, and I'm gonna see where the second bend is. It's gonna go that way, the opposite way. So its tray is gonna be something like this. It'll go up, and then it'll flatten out. Oh, that'll be nice enough. That should be handy enough to bend as well. Okay, something like that. Then I need to cut that shape out the back then. I know at the moment it just looks like a lump of metal, but I'll just show you. So it's going to sit in there somewhere, and then I need to notch this out for the tube here to just go in there nice and flush, and then all of that will go inside. So that angle is a bit too aggressive, so I need to change that as well. But it kind of follows, this here follows with that tube just a little bit lower, and then I'm going to have to make up something here for the exhaust bracket. But let's do this first, and then I'll have a look at the exhaust bracket. Okay. Alright, so I've located my shears. So I'm actually just going to cut this, because it's only thin, it's only about 1 mil, so I'll get away with it with this. Just going to make a bit of room for myself. Okay, that's one side of it done. Perfect. Okay, so I have it there on the bike. As you can see, it isn't too bad. It's pretty close. It'll fit in nicely. It'll be a little bit tighter than that, but I just have there on a bit of PV tape, so that's why it's a little bit loose. I have a way of fixing the back as well, because my little reg plate will be here and the little hanger and stuff, so that's another thing to consider. That'll give me loads of space underneath as well to put in all my electronics and stuff, so that's great. Right, I'll take it off. I'll do the sides now. I have another bit of that scrap galva tray left, so I'll just drop it up. Just normally you'd start with, a piece of sheet metal, but I have a bit of scrap there, so I'm going to try and make from that and see how I get on. Okay, so there's a top view. As you can see, I have some nuts that I've welded in that I want to be able to bolt this tray into. So that's why I want to kind of I need to go above these tubes. I also want to have some sort of a support for the seat there, just because the seat at the moment is only supported here, and also at the back here. So I think a nice little bar, something across here or across there, whichever, just to hold it would be a good idea. So what I'm going to do is, there's that little flap that I chopped off. I'm just going to do a marker from the far side here. Just going to do a straight line so it meets the top of the bar, at least for the moment. I can always take off more, but it's much harder to add on its extra welding and stuff. So that's the way it's looking now. So okay, so now that I have it marked off, and I also have the position of that little tube that goes across it there on the subframe, I'll be able to mark it off on the piece of metal there and cut that and weld it. Alright, so I finished welding this up. I just tacked it in a few places. It doesn't really have to be fully welded all the way across. It's pretty solid. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this this kind of edging, rubber edging, all the way around. I just don't want to scratch my subframe. And what I'll do is I'll have to drill a couple of holes. I have to drill one here, one here, one here, and one here, just to hold it up. And then something there, because that's going to hold up my edge plate and the little mount on the back for the edge plate. So I'll just show you. I'll put these on and then I'll show you what it looks like on the bike. It's a little bit bigger than I had hoped, and that's down to that battery. The battery's just massive on this bike. I suppose the only thing I can do is, if I got a gel battery, I could maybe lie it flat, and then I could take another section off it and bring it up a little bit. So I will look at that. That'll mean is I just have to cut it a little bit. That's all. It's not a big deal. So, the same tray will actually do the same job. So, just will need a little adjustment. Well, look, let's have a look. Let's see what it looks like on the bike. I'll put these on and throw it on the bike. Okay, so that's what it looks like. More or less finished. Ideally, it would be a little bit smaller, or ideally wouldn't be there at all, or a really small tray, but just because the amount of gear that has to go in under the seat, it has to be a bit bigger. Now I know I could have used the lithium-ion battery, and that would have saved a lot of space. It's just the way I use my bikes, it wouldn't be a runner, because I'd be changing batteries every 6 months. I don't drive them enough to warrant a lithium-ion battery and replacing them every time they go dead. So so that's not really a runner for me, and I'm also not that good at plugging it in and charging it. The scooter's already the battery dead. I kind of just need to use it, and it just isn't for me. It could be a bit smaller. I might get a gel battery instead, and I could probably half the size of that. I'll show you what the seat looks like. If I put the seat on, no, I'll just roughly put it in. I won't push it in all the way. That's kind of what it looks like with the seat. It's fine taking shape. And then my edge plate mount with the light and everything else, just to be road legal, it's going to come in here. So that's kind of taking a shape, but obviously a rear hugger of some sort. I haven't made that yet, so I'll have to source something and make it. But yeah, overall it looks good. You know, it's not 100%, but it's pretty good. Yeah, look, that's it for this video, and I'll just keep going with this.